Hey everyone, welcome to week 9. First of all, welcome to my garage. So, it normally doesn't look this crazy, I promise. We just had a garage sale. So, this week is all about preparing you for your essay next week. So, the essay next week is over gender and as it relates to a specific text. This week, we're investigating that text. We're going to talk about it, watch it, and there's no discussion board this week because we'll be preparing for your essay. So even though you see essay number 2 right there, Gender and Little Women, don't stress. That's just the assignment directions, which we'll talk about here in a second. That does not mean it is due this week. It is not due this week. It is not due this week. It is not due this week. Inevitably, I will get emails that say, Professor Heaton, is the essay due this week? Oh my goodness. And I will direct you to this video, and you're going to feel silly, mystery student, in the future. All right, so for the intro, let's go through this real quick. You'll see that you're watching Little Women, the most recent one by Greta Gerwig. So this movie won a bunch of awards recently, and what we're going to do, we're going to examine the ideas and questions it raises regarding sex and gender. So like I said, last year it generated no small amount of attention and controversy, and it's been heralded by many to be a staple of feminist culture, which is why we're going to investigate it. So as you're going through this film and the resources this week, I want you to think about how the film handles the role of women within the era of the Civil War. Think about if these issues were still relevant to gender roles in our society today and why you think the film has resonated with so many. Because it has. Many people adore this film and many people despise it. So think about why. So this week, like I said, I'm going to attach the directions for essay number 2. Very similar to essay number 1, you're just handling gender as opposed to class. It will not be due, oh goodness gracious, I've got to edit that. It will not be due at the end of this week. It's due at the end of next week, so don't panic. I'll give you some more resources this week to help you along with thesis statements, topic sentences, etc., etc. By the end of this week, even though it's not an assignment, I would encourage you to have your thesis statements done as well as your topic sentences and to start looking around for evidence to bolster those topic sentences as well. So as always, if you need help, make sure to hop on Google Hangouts and ask any questions that you need. Okay, so here is the link for the film that you'll watch. Make sure you knock it out quickly. Just do that on like Monday or Tuesday or something like that, so that way you can start thinking through things a little more specifically. Here's a link to a review of Little Women so you can see how people professionally talk about films and what people are thinking about the films that can go into it. Now, I want to warn a lot of you that when you start writing these types of essays, it's very, very easy just to give me a summary of the film. Don't give me just a summary, right? We're primarily looking for the argument of the film as it relates to gender. Okay, there's the directions, which I also have on the next page in the module here that we'll look at. And like I said, here's some extra resources to help you out with thesis statements, body paragraphs, and other essay elements. Okay, let's look at this assignment. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, obviously, is you're going to watch Little Women. So think, what argument is the director, Greta Gerwig, making through the film? Because she's making an argument. And what's your response to the argument? Do you agree, disagree? Would you qualify, meaning that you would change it a little bit? And why do you think that way? What in your own personal experience has led to those positions? Remember, we're examining this through the lens of our own identity because we all come to the table with different experiences, different cultural backgrounds. Why do you think the way that you think? Right. After exploring all the assigned resources for the unit, compose a thesis statement that answers the following prompt. What does Greta Gerwig's Little Women argue about the nature of gender? Please understand, that is the prompt. Everything in your essay is going toward answering that question. What is Greta Gerwig's argument about the nature of gender in Little Women? So your thesis is the answer to that prompt. In Little Women, Greta Gerwig argues that the nature of gender is play, because play. That's your thesis statement. And the rest of your essay is you unpacking that thesis statement. If the prompt is the question, your thesis is the answer. Okay? So as always, you're going to compose a 1,500 to 2,000 word paper that explores the film and answers the prompt, which is this in yellow, using quotes from the film, specific references to scenes, and an analysis that connects examples to your overall argument. I want you to respond to the ideas and arguments of the film with your own ideas. Do you agree or disagree? Why or why not? So it may help to think of this portion of the essay as your conclusion. So if you're unpacking the argument that the essay makes, you can conclude your essay with what you think and what you feel about it, and give me your ideas and opinions. It's okay. Once again, be as specific as possible. Give me concrete examples. Give me the image of the scenes in the film in my mind. Give me quotes from the film. And if in your conclusion, when you're talking about your opinion, can you give me specific real-world examples? Can you give me personal anecdotes, things that give me an image in my mind, specific and concrete examples? I want you to use at least 3 quotes from the film, so when you're watching, jot down with pen and paper. And then use quotes from at least 3 outside sources to support your argument that you've gathered from TCC's databases. Once again, you can explore those links in the resources module if you forgot how to use those TCC databases, or you can ask me for help after you've watched those videos and looked at those resources and still can't figure it out. But generally, those are pretty helpful. So it may be helpful to search for biographical information regarding Greta Gerwig or even Little Women in general. And remember, you're not writing this essay over Louisa May Alcott. She's the author of the novel. You're not writing about the novel, right? You're writing about the film, right? How does this film in particular argue about the nature of gender? That's what you're answering. And also make sure that you format your essay, all right? And this is due next week. I know that page had a typo on in this video. Fix it to where it's not there anymore. But what I want you to do is you're going to watch the film, you're going to explore all the resources. There's no assignment that's due this week, but what I want you to do is start moving towards the completion of your paper. So make sure you've got a good thesis statement nailed down. If you need help with it, make sure you check out the library's Academic Learning Center. I blanked out there for a second. You can send me your thesis. Please don't send me your whole essay. I'm not going to read your whole essay and say it's good, right? You can take that to the Academic Learning Center if you'd like, but if you want me to look at your paper, give me specific portions and ask me specific questions. Because if I looked over everyone's paper before they submitted it, I would be doing nothing but reading papers my whole life. So that's what's going on this week. So make sure that you're preparing yourself for success next week. Once again, work on that thesis statement. Get a good working thesis statement. Give me good working topic sentences, which that's the first sentence of all your body paragraphs. Help you with that organization, and then start thinking, start pulling together quotes, what quotes you're going to use from the film, what quotes you're going to use from outside sources. So that way next week you're compiling all these things together for a really effective, persuasive essay. Okay? All right. Have a good week.